Hi, I'm Gloria Kenyon, Public Programs Coordinator for the Smithsonian American Art Museum at Renwick Gallery. And for today's Handi Hour crafts, we will be doing jewelry. We're going to start with these paper beads that I just made from some cut-up magazines. They're really tiny, but they're super easy and super quick, and then we're going to string them together onto a bracelet. So I just have a magazine here. Any magazine can do. So you just tear out a sheet of paper, and then you're just going to cut it into long strips that end in triangles. So this one's a little bit short. You don't want one that's quite this short. You want something a little bit longer. So something more like this. You want a nice long strip of paper because that's how we're going to roll up our beads. And then I'm just going to cut in at an angle. I'm going to start out very narrow and then widen. So this will give you a slightly off-center bead when you roll it up. If you want it to be a little more centered and even as you roll, you can cut the wider base and then get narrower at the top. Glue sticks are incredibly great for crafting. They're super easy, they're quick, they're not messy. And these you're gonna apply a layer of glue all over the entire strip. This is going to be the inside of my bead, so you pick whichever side you like better. I liked the blues on this back side, so I'm going to apply all of my glue. And sometimes a glue stick can dry really quickly, so you may need to reapply as you do this process. And we're just going to roll it up. And you want to leave a little bit of a hole at the start. You can see there's a hole right there. So that's where we're going to thread our bracelet through. Just gently, evenly roll it up. And you want to kind of tighten as you go, otherwise you're going to end up with a really fat, loose bead, and you want a nice, tight bead. And a lot of times that last little piece doesn't stick very well, so you just got to reapply. I'm just going to set that aside to let it dry. I'd like to let them dry so the glue really sets, especially if you've used a liquid glue. You don't want to mess with them too much because you'll make them out of shape. So I have these beads I made earlier, and I have this is just some leather cord I've used in some other crafting. And I'm just going to make a bracelet, so I'm going to pull it about a little bit longer than my wrist. I'm going to tie a knot in one end, and this is actually going to be the knot that's my clasp when I'm done with this, so I'm going to make it nice and thick. And then just string your beads. And this is why when you're first making them, you want to make sure that first hole is wide enough for whatever you're going to string it. I'm just going to work that through. I'm going to tie this end in a loop. And I actually looped it through on this one by tying it in a knot and then sliding my extra cord through that piece. This one's a little bit tighter than that, so I'm just going to do a little loose. And then you have your bracelet. It's pretty stiff and it tightens up a little bit, but you can just put it on. It's made of paper and glue, so just be careful with water, but there you've got your bracelet.